Hello. Good afternoon. Good evening, Mrs. TVS Rao, Dr. TVS Rao. Good evening, Mr. Anil Chitambare. Good evening, Avinash Lakare.
Good evening.
Yeah. Good evening.
Yeah,
I am
good.
Vyasamoorthy.
Yeah.
Anil Chitambare. Good evening, Mr. TVS Rao. Good evening, Haneefa Rawther ji. He is joining.
No, he's joining right now.
Yeah, Haneefa Rawther is joining just now.
Dr. Rao is also there.
Dr. Rao has joined.
Yes.
Good evening, Mr. Haneefa Rawther ji.
Good evening, Vyasamoorthy. How are you?
Good evening, sir. I am fine. Seeing you after a long time.
That's right.
Dr. Rao, good evening. Haneefa ji.
Good evening.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Can
Avinash,
you see
Avinash,
my...
I think since all of us have come, you can start off the
Yes.
meeting straight.
Yes, that's what actually. Now I'm really we'll start the meeting. And,
yeah, but you are not to be
we
seen.
will have
Your face is not to be seen.
That's what I'm now worried.
Okay, no problem. Anyway,
I don't know, something is wrong. Anyway, I will just see.
No problem. You can continue.
Yeah.
Good evening, everybody.
Avinash, yeah.
Yeah. First thing is that I'm really thankful Dr. Vyasamoorthy has agreed to host the meeting. I requested him because, yeah, it's good so that I can concentrate on the discussion and thoughts also.
Okay.
And one by one, we should everybody should be aware. Dr. Vyasamoorthy is expert into that area also. Now, our committee is mainly research and international relation. There are two major aspects with our committee. The one is research and another is international relation. These are two very different activities, but very important activities. Now, such activities, initially I am just requesting our committee that I think it is better to have the communication of any type, not on WhatsApp, because as the days pass, WhatsApp goes out. I think either we can have this other some media as per your suggestion or emailing. Because what happened in case
email.
Email, okay.
I prefer email. That is more stable, and we have a record of whatever we do.
That's
WhatsApp
right.
evaporates.
And within one email, we can form a group on the email itself, and so we don't have to give personal. Discuss everything on the group. Okay. Because everybody's views, we can immediately get into it exactly what is the. So, how about Dr. Rao? I know that he's also good for the email. Is it not?
I'm good in email, but not so good. as you can imagine.
Okay. How about Haneefa's your view?
Yeah, WhatsApp or email, both will be okay. But this is our first meeting. So my suggestion is that let the chairman, Avinash, you have to put some proposals for discussion and the aim and objectives of our committee. And it was designed by some AISCCON office bearers, but however, we have to decide what can we do and what we can't do. So, as the chairman, we are expecting your proposals first, and then we will respond.
We have to be very precise and come to the point, and then tackle point by point, because we have only half an hour. Please be fast.
So I request Mr. Chitambare to come, please keep the bullets ready after the meeting.
Please start off.
Yes.
No, as per this AISCCON,
I am ready.
Research.
Actually, persons are habituated for the WhatsApp. Email also familiar, but we will use both. I think so.
Okay. Now, as far as research is concerned, now I think you all must have read what Dr. TVS Rao has written in the research can serve two purposes. So we'll first take that his point because he has a good expertise into research activity. And we immediately in the AISCCON, immediately we cannot take up any big activity in research, or we cannot suggest any major activity to go for research. Of course, we are also not capable to go immediately. We all five, because I know a little bit. Dr. Rao is expert in that area. Dr. Vyasamoorthy is a little bit expert into that area. But I do not know about Haneefa and Anil Chitambare. Anil Chitambare, I am doubtful because he told me clearly I am not new to this phenomena. About Haneefa, how about you? You had any experience in research?
So
Activity?
we had to decide first that what kind of research on what topic we have to research, and I have some suggestions
Yeah, please
that
give suggestion. Please give.
because the government of India has announced a gerontological policy during 1999.
Okay.
But no updates on that. We have to come some research work on that. Research work means we have to go through this and we have to point out the deficiencies or what we expect from the government to add to these actions, to this policy. One is
Okay.
that. And the second is that the government of India has declared so many programs, including in health sector, programs for the senior citizens in the country. So we have to go through each and every program and we have to study it and point out some deficiencies, etc. Okay, this can be done by each of us. You have to entrust one subject to one of the member because this policy somebody has to take it, and the government of India police programs, one or two, three, five problems, one by one, and this is a type of this research or study. Okay, that is one thing. And the second thing is that the international relations, we have to make tie up with the organizations of senior citizens and NGOs in other country. Sometimes before, our Dr. Gangadharan from Hyderabad, he was associated with so many NGOs of all over the world. And why can't we gather addresses of these NGOs, and some we have to gather some information from all of these things, and preliminary this kind of works we can done. And I will send a brief note on this by in email or in WhatsApp or in both, so that we can discuss it in lengthy. Somehow we have to take up this challenge with the little knowledge and expertise we have. That is my first expressions. Okay.
Okay, that's good. Now,
Very good.
what you have suggested is really is good thing because on the same lines also Dr. Rao has given his. We had discussed in detail with him also. So he has suggested. No, Dr. Rao will tell you from his side only. I am not going to tell what Dr. Rao is going to tell. So what my suggestion is that any research will require. There are two types. What Dr. has written clearly that research is also two types. One is secondary data and the primary data. Okay, we don't have any secondary data with us. That's what I suggest. I find, and we cannot. People usually don't give the secondary data, so we have to have the primary data first. Now, primary data has to be collected by our people, our own people. So what we can do, we can fix up a subject, and then we will go for this. So there are various subjects, health aspects, and the main subject what we had, this AISCCON has taken up one research before 5 years. We do not know what happened. So during our this minutes of this meeting, we'll write to AISCCON that please let us know the status of that research, whether it has been completed or not, because they have not declared anything. So I didn't read it. And another is about the NPOP, what Dr. Rao has taken up one important point. Now, I do not know, Mr. Haneefa, you are talking about the 1990, that gerontological policy Is it NPOP related or the other point what you have referred to NPOP? Is it related with the NPOP?
Yeah,
we
he's
have
talking
to
about
start,
NPOP only.
yeah, we have to start on NPOP.
Yeah.
Right. So Dr. Rao has good study into that NPOP, and he has also, while discussing with me, Dr. Rao, can you please, what we discuss, you can give from your side.
Yeah, I can. See, basically, before starting all these things, I have a couple of doubts.
Yeah.
One, what does AISCCON aim by appointing a research committee? What do they want to do? See, if you want to just look into various procedures and policies adopted all over the country or the other countries in the world and suggest what best we should do, that is okay. That can be done by a review of literature. There are a lot of reports generated by various organizations, and there are a lot of reports generated within the country like Helpage India and Tata Institute of Social Sciences and other organizations and gerontological institutions also. So this data is available and it is known to everybody. Probably ministry also knows it. So what is it that we are going to add to what the knowledge which already exists? That is one question. If you have to delve into areas which have not already been delved, which have not been touched already, and then if you want to organize research in it, then to organize field research, we don't have any equipment. First of all, I would like to know how much money AISCCON has allotted for research and how this money is going to be spent. And if you have to have field staff, if you have to have travel expenses of people, will AISCCON meet it? Or is AISCCON going to get funded by our other donors like ministry or other organizations and use those funds for this purpose? We don't know. So I'm not very clear on what and how AISCCON is going to take up this research subject. So we can suggest subjects, there are no problems. And we can undertake research provided we are clear about the path we are going to tread. But what that path is, and that depends on what the AISCCON has in mind. So here I have a little doubt and I'm a little confused. So far as subjects are concerned, Dr. Vyasamoorthy suggested that we can explore the literature and from that give directions to the ministry for improvement of the NPOP or the National Policy of Senior Citizens. Definitely, but I have a niggling doubt here. You know, the ministry has conducted a consultative meeting in 2017 in Vigyan Bhavan. Some of us have attended that meeting. And in that meeting, several proposals were made to amend the 2007 Act. Now, those proposals are embodied in the Amendment Act. The amendment bill was staged in 2019. Now we are 4 years hence. And so far it has not moved even in one house in the parliament. And we don't know when that bill will become a reality. Secondly, even the National Policy for Senior Citizens, drafted by Mohinigiri Committee, it took a long time for the Government of India to accept the report. So bureaucracy takes a long time over all these things. And whether what we suggest today may be implemented tomorrow or day after tomorrow, next year or 10 years since, we don't know. And how utilitarian it will be also, I have no idea. Now, coming back to the subjects for research, if the government, if the AISCCON really wants to conduct some studies into the NPOP, I mean both national policy and national program. There are two things in NPOP. So government has given funds for various purposes, like Haneefa was saying, for health purposes, for old age homes and for intergenerational gap building and other things, all and sundry. There are about 17 or 18 schemes which were funded by the Ministry of our Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. And it will be interesting to review the data, annual data from their annual reports over the last 20 years, because it is from 2000 to 2020. 23 we are in, but data will be available up to 22 or 21, probably not more than that. And see What is the spatial distribution of the funding? Which state is
Sorry,
getting
sir. Sorry, sir. 20 years data.
spatial distribution? SPACIAL. Spatial distribution, that is all across space, across these 28 states. How was the funding distributed over the years? And state-wise, was there a growth or a decline over time? And then within each state, what are the programs that you have taken up? And the programs also, which states are taking up one program solidly and primarily, and another state may be taking another program. So what are the preferences of the states in taking up the programs? So this goes to a dynamic modality of how funding has been done by the ministry and who has benefited by that, which states have benefited and how much, and under what programs, what are the popular programs, what are the programs not so popular. This sort of a study can be done from the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, provided they give us access to their data. I think mostly it is in the annual reports, we can get it. The second point is, how was this money used? This is also the point raised by Haneefa. How was the money used? Is it used properly? What are the effects of benefits derived by the actual end users from these programs? Have they benefited, have they not benefited? And then what are the problems in implementation? What are the difficulties in the guidelines issued? And have they been followed? All these aspects are there in the evaluation procedure. We can evaluate the programs of the Government of India, taking these parameters into consideration. This is one study which we can take up probably if the Government of India wishes it. Now, second issue is awareness of the programs, awareness of the 2007 Act. Now, a common thread which went through the New Delhi consultations of 2017 is that people are not aware of the programs. Therefore, they are not utilizing the programs. They are not benefiting from it as they should have. Secondly, the implementing authorities, whether it is the ministry, the governments, banks, or government departments, or the tribunals and the judiciary system, revenue system, whether they have proper acquaintance of the rules and regulations, and whether they are knowing of the rules and regulations, whether they are properly motivated to help the senior citizens, whether they are playing their part fully or not. This aspect also can be looked into, so that we can tell the government, you have passed an act, another act is in the offing, the bill, amendment bill. So far as passing the act is now okay, but when it comes to implementation, there is a big gap between expectations and achievements. Now, why is this happening and how can this be bridged? If this study can be taken up, it requires field study at various levels. We have to go to the banks, we have to go to the hospitals, we have to go to the police departments, we have to go to the mandal and revenue officers and the block officers, collectors and other people, the tribunal officers, and then see whether they are really sensitized to implement these programs or not. In the Act, there are provisions that you have to sensitize these people. In the Act, there are provisions that you have to create awareness among the beneficiaries. These two provisions have not been implemented to my knowledge. At least in Andhra Pradesh, no, it was not implemented. So nobody knows about it, nobody bothers about it. When I speak even to senior IPS officers, they are not aware of Chapter 6 of the rules framed under the Act, what their duties are, what their responsibilities are. That is the position, then what is the use of passing these acts? So this sort of an evaluation can be done by the AISCCON. These two subjects are coming to my mind right now. Maybe there are many other problems which can be looked into. That AISCCON also can suggest their topics. But only thing is, we have to see how are we going to fund, what is the manpower at our disposal, how are we going over what period of time are we going to complete these reports, and if the funds are not available, where are we going to get the funds? If somebody else is funding the AISCCON, they can as well think, why should we fund route the money through AISCCON? We can as well directly go ahead and fund the Tata Institute or somebody else and get the research done. Why should we use AISCCON as a conduit for this funding? That also may be a thinking by the ministry. So all these things have to be kept in mind. And a suitable decision has to be taken at the AISCON level, the EC level, so that under their direction we can proceed further. Thank you, sir.
I want to suggest something in this connection. Yeah, the best thing would be there is nothing like AISCON advising us, expecting us to do this and that. So having formed the committee, we have to decide as to what we can do and do whatever bit we can. That is one
I
thing.
mean, we are autonomous.
Yeah, you frame your own this one agenda and go ahead with that. That is the best
And
one.
that EC will question who asked you to do all these things.
No, EC has appointed you without any mandate. So they are not
Okay.
given any objectives. So these are our objectives. This is what we want to do. Okay,
Anyway,
that's it.
we can clear it with the President and Secretary General, if
No,
not
no.
the EC.
No, what I'm
what
I am suggesting is that you can. I request Dr. TVS Rao to make out as how we can proceed. Is that we can make a project proposal, research project proposal, mentioning what we want to do, how we will do, and how long it will take, and how much money we need. Okay, with that proposal through AISCON, approach Department of Science and Technology or the ministry or other agencies for funding, or even TISS, if they can give us some funding, it is okay. Whoever can give us money, we can get for funding. That will take about 3 months or so. So meanwhile, we can vet the project and get people ready, or our own ideas with some clarity we can get. So once the assurance of money comes in from any quarters, okay, we can go ahead.
Yes, what Dr. Mammootty has.
There is any money in AISCON for research funding on its own. See, there should be some seed money spent by AISCON in order to get money from government.
From outside.
At least about 15-20% we should be ready to pitch in, which we can ask AISCON to give. Okay, 15-20%.
First, yeah, funding part we'll think later on. But actually, what I think that Dr. Rao has given really good inputs for the subject also, and the topics also. So first, at least we should give 2 or 3 topics to AISCON. These are the topics which we can fall into. We can give the weightage also to which we should start first, and what are the activities required for that. And then we'll say in the first this letter that about the funding we are not thought upon. Let us think on this issue. If it is finalized, then we'll think about the funding part later on. How much strength is required to go around and all these things. We'll think about that.
So I am of the opinion that
Yes.
what Dr. Vyasamoorthy said, it should be kept in our mind, and we should formulate some projects and try for funding through AISCON from government departments or something like that. I think that AISCON has not earmarked any fund for this thing.
No, they are
So,
not.
so we have to decide what we are going to do and what is our priority, and it should be put in a project, and we have to got it through sanctioned through AISCON, and then to send some government departments or some other agencies for funding.
My idea is this: since AISCON has given 25th as the last day, it's not a deadline for us actually, but we can shoot up a letter within 2 days. Dr. Rao can make future from your side about the research, just a small script or bullets only, and not in short. You can give us 3 points or some points, and then and we'll add about the international relations, what we are going to have. As Haneefa has told clearly, I am a member of many outside organization also. The another important point is in the relations, we got in UN status. That status has also been maintained, and how it should be maintained, and that report has to be made. So these parameters also will include that in the international relation. And research, sir, I request you can, so I think within a day or 2, we can put up in the group what we are going to write to AISCON for reply to that. They prepare the objectives and also. So these are our objectives for the research. They are the 3 points, and for this international relation, other 2 or 3 points. In short, we'll give in the beginning itself. and let's see their reply to that. And into that, I think we should add that the AISCCON, which I told you that about that AISCCON, the project what has taken in the AISCCON 5-6 years back, we should know the outcome of that, whatever the status of that project. If it is completed, okay. If completed, we'll get the details of that project also from AISCCON, so that we'll know in what fashion it has gone. Because I know that there was some funding was given for that.
Funding was given by the ministry. And
Ministry,
the project was entrusted to
Yeah, yeah.
Tirupati University, Ramurthy
Yeah.
and Jamuna.
Yeah.
And it went on for some time. Then
Yeah.
finally they raised their hands and said, we are done and we can't do anything more. And then late Dr. Kinjewardekar had to sit on the papers, and he tried to draft the reports frantically. I don't know whether the report is completed and submitted, but there was a
No.
deadline that time also.
Finally,
Finally,
finally, it was handed over to that person in Delhi, who passed away. Dr.
Bhatia, Sugan Bhatia.
Ashokan Bhatia. He took
Yes,
over,
yes.
he engaged a few research assistants and somehow completed and made a report and finished the formality of completing the report. That's what completing the research for which
So-
the funding was given.
So first let the AISCCON say,
Yeah.
let the AISCCON give officially to us the details of that project, and the another about this NPOP project, and this that also will, because I think that project, if at all if it goes, it will be through NISD. So we'll write a letter once we are sure about that NPOP. We write a letter to NISD also, so we may get funding from them, because that NISD is under MOSD only, this Ministry of Social Justice. And NISD, I am talking about the National Institute of Social Defense. Because Joint Director, I know him very well, so we can issue an email to him and get the information. And third, about the study of the 2007 Act. So this is a very vital point, and it is much needed for that, because we can get the data of the various parameters in all the states. Because in Karnataka, we know that Dr. Shanbag is doing, in Pune, we know that many people are doing in Maharashtra. We know about the Maharashtra. So we'll first correct this thing, and then we can take a study of that. This whether this act is really known to the people or not. So these three actually points we can take up.
Yeah, I want
For
to.
that, I think we
I agree
should
with you.
approach the ministry and find out whether the ministry is interested in them or not, or whether they will have any objection if we do these projects.
Yeah, that is. But first we have to give information to AISCCON. Let the AISCCON
Yes.
come out first, and then only we'll go ahead. Because I do
They-
not
they
know
have
whether
to-
the AISCCON.
Then they have to contact the ministry.
Yes, that's right.
And
They-
NISD or
they-
ministry, they have to give the permission.
Yes, that's right.
Even evaluation studies. So evaluation studies means we are evaluating what the ministry is
No,
doing. or
if they are
states
not
are-
giving us, if they are not funding us, why should they object?
No,
we can
it is their functioning. We are looking into their functioning now.
No. As an independent body, AISCCON can find out what is happening. If they
I
are
don't know
funding, they
whether-
may object. See,
I don't know whether we are so democratic, but anyway, we can try.
The funding part we'll keep
Anyway.
little bit later part. Once we have finalized it, then we can calculate the funding. But
I want another small thing to be done. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
a comprehensive list of all the newsletters and periodicals connected
Yes,
with
yes,
senior
that-
citizen associations, see, and federations of senior citizens. They bring out their own monthly, weekly, annual newsletters and news magazines and periodicals. I'm not talking about academic journals. Okay, that is out of scope. We can compile a list of that. That would be very useful. For example, our own AISCCON News and AISCCON newsletter has got a mailing list. So that mailing list will go to similar producers of newsletters, isn't it? If it has any, we can start with that. I have seen one shelf of large number of newsletters in AISCCON office in Nerul. We can start with that also, and have a comprehensive list of newsletters produced by senior citizen associations and federations of senior citizens in India.
And then once the people knows that newsletters, they can go through it and they can give the views to us, so that we can have international relations coming up from the edge.
Yeah,
Mr.
this
Gulshan.
meeting is about to close in another 10 minutes.
Yeah. So we'll,
Yeah.
if it is close at 10 minutes, we'll wait for 2 minutes and again we'll start for
Let
at
us
least 10,
let us
15
try
minutes.
that. Let us try
Yeah.
that one. So let us try
So
to
I
finish
think,
as early as possible.
So about this literature part, we'll put up to AISCCON, we'll write to them that whatever the data they do have, whatever the literature they do have, they can send the addresses to us. So we'll issue
Yeah,
the
we
emails to them.
haven't heard from Anil Chitambare, sir.
Sorry,
He
sir.
has-
Yes, sir.
Chitambare.
I fully agree. Funding is main problem for us, and then we have to put our today's meeting data, today's meeting discussion to AISCCON, and let them think over the matter.
That's what I was requesting. We'll issue the letter first to AISCCON on day after tomorrow, because they will have their EC meeting and other things. Let them decide upon whether to give it to EC or not. That is their lookout. We will not worry about that. And first, and then once we get the information or the reply to our letter, then we'll start digging out the things into that way only.
We can decide our frequent meeting also.
Yes. Our frequent meeting, we can have this on the Zooms in the same style what you are doing. No, Haneefa has, I think, left. So it usually happens. So he might be busy or some. He was on mobile phone, so it may get cut off. So we'll, sir, Rao sir, about research part, I request you to make in the beginning what you told.
Whatever I said, I will.
Sorry, sir.
Whatever I said, I will put it in writing.
Sorry, sir, I didn't get you.
Whatever I said, I will put it in writing.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's right.
okay,
Sir.
fine.
About the Vyasamoorthy sir, you told about this literature part and international relation. I will write about this UN and other IFA and other things that I will
Okay.
write down where to get it, and we'll combine the letter and we'll shoot it to AISCCON after
Okay.
day after tomorrow after
Okay,
2-3
fine.
days.
Okay, fine. Right.
Because 18 to 22nd I am in Nanded for the conference. And I will come back on 22nd and 26th or 27th. I am going to Japan for 1 week. So I
Okay.
think before that we'll.
Yeah,
make it
before that
mention.
you shoot it off. Yes.
Yeah,
fine.
that's true, sir.
Right.
So
Will it be
we can have a tentative meeting time date.
day after tomorrow? If we get it from Rao and I will also have to make the ready, and then we'll first give it to all, and then we can discuss on that point, and we'll finalize the letter itself. Okay.
We can circulate it via email. We can do.
Yeah, we have high email we can do.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
We can
initially
think about
yes, Anil.
We want that we share awareness in rural areas. Our Act 2009, it must be spread all over the villages as the Maharashtra government as the Maharashtra doing.
No, you see, first let us have a study about the 2007 from the first states. We do have all vice presidents and other people from the other states. So let them come out and let them tell about the thing. Then we'll discuss and then we'll finalize the issue. First, at least main area we'll find out where we are going to start working, and then only we'll decide upon. We cannot touch all the aspects at a time.
Yes.
Yeah.
You let me know agenda for the next meeting also.
Yes, that's it. This agenda will go on. This is the same way. First, we'll issue the letter first. Day after tomorrow, we'll finalize the letter. Okay. So, are we going to sit again? Is it not required? Is it not required? I think.
Not required. I think we have covered most of the points.
Yeah, we have covered all the points, and you know what
your
we
senior
done.
citizen exchange program.
Yeah.
That we are going to put it that in the international relation. I will put it. I was just thinking to speak about.
Next time we can talk about it.
Yeah, no, I will put it the one senior because he knows it. I already discussed in detail with Badane, and he liked that. And he asking me to make a application for his US visa. I told him I cannot make your US visa. You have to do it on your own. even though I told him a person who is doing in his district, he doesn't know who is doing in his district. So I gave his number. He talked with him. He told that he will give the paper. Before a month this happened, but so far he has not done anything on that issue. So let him go ahead. So I will put up. I'll write down about the selection program. Yeah.
We can call it a day, Dr. Vyasamoorthy. I think we are done.
Fine,
Yes.
fine. Another 4 minutes, I think, is there. I think we are ending within the allotted time of the free.
Tomorrow, day after tomorrow morning, we'll exchange the emails, and
Okay,
day after
okay,
tomorrow, tomorrow morning evening, we'll have
Okay.
4:30. I will ask again Haneefa.
Okay.
Tomorrow I'll ask again Haneefa.
In that case, we can
Thank you,
finish
sir.
the meeting. Shall
Yeah, thank you.
I close the meeting with
Yeah,
all your permission?
Yes, sir.
I'm
Yes, sir. Please
So
go.
I propose a
Clicking
vote of
end.
thanks to,
Okay,
vote of
okay.
thanks to.
I thank everyone for having come
Yeah,
over
so-
and spent their time and
Thank you.
energy to
Thank
discuss.
you, thank you,
Thank you.
Thank you
for-
very much, sir.
Thank you. This is good first meeting.
Right.
Yeah,
Good, good.
thank you. Just a minute, just a minute. I will just have one print screen. You have taken the print screen? No.
Ah,
Yeah, no, I have not taken it. It went away. I will go for it. Print screen.
okay. I have a couple of
Yes.
points. Dr. Rao is giving his own points. You know what you have spoken. There's no problem. You can put them together.
Maybe that was recorded, I suppose.
Okay, it is recorded
You-
also.
Achha,
I will send you the
recorded it?
record also. I will send you the record
Oh,
also. You can listen to the whole thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have recorded the whole thing. I have sent you the record link. You can listen to it even there is any problem. And
Okay.
yeah,
That's
I'm ending.
Good thing.
Okay.
Nice.
Thank you.
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you.
Bye.
Good night.
Nice, nice. Good days.